Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talking with T. I'm your host, Chris Tatarian, and today we're going to be diving into the topics of heavy aggression, spiritual warfare, and the current state of Street Fighter 6. And with me in this conversation is none other than Evo champion, my brother, the Habibi of Habibis, AngryBird. What's going on, brother? Welcome
Hey
to the show.
everyone, thank you, Habibi. Thank you for having me on this show, first of all. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation, Habibi.
Yeah, we always have great conversations. It's always thought provoking conversations. And
Of course, of course.
to begin this conversation, as I do with all of my guests, I'm very interested in understanding your upbringing, how you met Big Bird. I know you've talked about this before, but it's very important for me to highlight the stories of all of these top players because they can be very relatable to players that are aspiring to be one of the greats.
Yeah,
So help me understand
sure.
because I'm also Middle Eastern. You're Middle Eastern. I know that we come from same background. My father is crazy hardhead. So gaming is not very popular in our culture. It's more so you're a doctor or dentist or you're nothing to the family. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
help me
of
understand what it
course.
was like for you growing up in the Middle East.
So first of all, like in terms of how I met Big Bird, we both used to play football as kids on the street. That's how I
Yes.
met him.
Yes.
So we kept like playing with the guys like in the hood and everything. We were enjoying like all the guys in the neighborhood. We all were playing football in the street. We were enjoying our times. And then one day he invited me to his house when we were kids, and he was like, "Let's change the routine and play video games." And the first game he opened, like back in the day, you just buy games
Yeah.
like and you just want to play them. And one of those games was Street Fighter 4.
Of course. Yes.
So he opened it first, and he was like, "Okay, let's play." I couldn't do a single move, no ultra, no nothing. So I was salty about that, and I told him, turn off this game. I don't want to play. So
Yeah.
let's open to another game, other games, and then times passed, like months, 4 or 5 months, I think, and school vacation came. So I was like, okay, I want to do something with my time now. I have 3 months off, so and I'm so bored. I want to find something. So I was like, wait, there is this game that I couldn't do shit in. Let me buy it this time and see if I can do things. I bought the game, and then without telling Big Bird, I practiced and everything. I started like learning how to execute ultras, specials a bit. So 3 months I was playing this game, and then after those 3 months, I invited Big Bird to my house. I was like, okay, let's play games this time. So I wanted to smoke him in Street Fighter mainly,
Okay.
but he didn't know that I was practicing. So I brought him in and I smoked him. And then he was like, "Oh shit, you practice actually?" Yeah, I told him I bought the game and practiced.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Okay." And then he did the same. He practiced, he started practicing, and then he came, and then he beat me, and then started going back and forth between me and him. So the rivalry started from that.
Mm.
He go learn to beat me, I go learn to beat him, and then we discovered that there is a community and there is an arcade near our home, and then I invited him to my place, and he realized I was practicing because I destroyed him on that day, and then started going back and forth. He destroyed me, like went back and started playing the game, destroyed me, and then we started playing. It kept going like that until like we discovered there's an arcade shop near my house. We used to live very close to each other, like 3 minutes walk.
Yeah.
So we started going to that place, and then we discovered there is a local community who play that game, and then these local community told us about Evo tournaments. Oh, there is this, there is that. So we got more excited, and then because the arcade was of course arcade stick, I used to play in controller.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to play with these guys. I have to switch to arcade stick.
Of
Then I
course.
bought one and started practicing on one, and that's how the journey started. Start practicing arcade stick, going to the arcade place. My life was literally this: school, arcade. That was my life back
Yeah.
then. Nothing else. School, going to the arcade. Like until we got more and more introduced to the community, we started playing in local tournaments. We started improving, and then Adil got sponsored, and then he talked about me in front of the sponsor, and then we both got sponsored, which is not Esports, and then the story continues.
So in the midst of you going to school, going to the arcade, all of this happening, what's your father and mother saying while they're watching you do this? And obviously, you're putting a lot of time into Street Fighter. For around how old were you at this time?
Yeah, bro, they used to. I was like 11 years old when I first when that first happened. 11 years old, and then like my father used to hide the PS4, man, PS3, sorry, used to hide it. He didn't want me to play. Like he used to make issues. Even when I was sponsored, he was like, "Bro, don't do this. Like this is not your life.
Yeah,
I'm paying your like tuition fees not to do this."
yeah, of
And it was
course.
very difficult for me to convince him. But then he was like, at the end, I'm a hot-headed person, so I was gonna do what I wanted to do anyway. So I tried to convince him. I was like, at the end, he's not trying to be convinced. So I'm like, I believe in this. I'll continue doing it. And now he believes, of course, for sure. But
Yeah.
like before, I continued even when he didn't want, and my mother didn't want. So I continued doing it until it paid off at the end.
Yeah, my parents were similar in that they didn't approve of it, but once they started seeing me travel and having some success with the game, then my dad and mom became more supportive with it. My dad, especially with watching my tournaments, and that's been a huge sigh of relief knowing that mom and dad actually support you
Of
in the thing
course,
that you're doing. You can play more comfortably with less stress now, just because they
of
accept
course,
it.
they will accept it eventually, because like they believe that you like this from your heart and you want to keep going with it. They will accept it eventually.
Yeah,
So
I feel
and
like
like my type, I never give up. I always do it my best. Doesn't matter what the situation is.
yeah.
Bad, I'll still do my best. Good situation, do my best. Nothing change. Good or bad, keep going.
Yeah, the key thing that you're saying here is to do your best, because I found that when you truly feel like you practiced hard enough and you did your absolute best, then regret doesn't exist in your mind afterwards.
Not just that. Doesn't matter who supports you and who not.
Mm.
It all comes down to you. You are gonna make the change. If you don't make the change, no one else is going to make it for you. So you have to make it yourself.
So,
Whether you get support or no support, do your absolute best. Doesn't matter what situation you are in.
well, speaking about doing your best, you're considered top 3 in the world right now for Street Fighter 6. What does training look like for someone as elite as you? Walk me through the steps with actual timestamps. For example, we talked about this at Street Fighter League. I
Sure,
was I was curious about your training regimen. What does it look like for you to wake up at a certain hour? I want to know all the details. I practice 2 hours
sure,
lab work, 2 hours replay, 1 hour this, because I really want the audience to understand, if you're trying to be the top 3 in the world, someone like you, someone like Mena, what is the devotion that they have to put into this in order to expect reality of winning Evo and performing so elite?
sure. So, one of the things, Chris, about this is, for me especially, the way you practice doesn't have is not the same as the way you perform in tournament. So, for example, you are the best in casuals, but that doesn't mean you are gonna be the best in tournament.
Hmm.
So that's the point I really want to make it clear, because you might have someone who's crazy good in casuals, but in tournament they are not good.
Yeah.
They lose. So the key is you practice your best matchups, everything, situational awareness, try to read the opponent, all of these things you do during your practice time. But whenever it comes to tournament time, it's a mental thing, 100% mental thing. Because in tournament, you go to the tournament in your mind, oh shit, I practice so much, I have to make it count because I practice so hard for this, I need to make it count. So when you go to the tournament thinking that you have to make it count to the hours that you practice and the time you've put in and the reward you're going to get of winning, you're going to underperform because all of those things that you put behind your mind. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. So you end up underperforming because of the stress you put under, like behind your back, which is in reality you practice. Like for me, I'm gonna tell you what me especially I do. So I'm a religious person.
Yes.
I'm a dedicated Muslim.
Yes.
So what I think about is, okay, this is a gift, like the gaming thing. So God gifted it to me, doing what I love as a job. So when God gifted this to me, what I have to do, like in my mind, what do I have to do to like show God how grateful I am for the gift that He had given me? The only thing I can do is do my absolute best in it so I don't lose it. And if I lose
Mm,
it, there is no regrets because I did my best. I lost it, so the decision was His taking it away from me, but not me taking it away from me. I did not take it away from me. I do my best in it absolutely. So when I go to the tournament, it's not my goal to win. It's not my goal to. My goal is to show appreciation to God for whatever He had given me. So I end up performing very well, and like not doesn't have to be very well, but I end up performing my best, which I practiced because it's not my goal to win or get money or do this or do that. My goal is to show appreciation to Allah for whatever He has done for me. So this is the mentality I approach whenever I go to a tournament.
yeah,
And in terms of the practice, I do my absolute best. If practice requires me to practice 8 hours a day, I will do it. 10 hours, 12 hours, I will do it.
yeah.
Doesn't matter. If I have to do this, I will. I will.
So
There is
tell
no chance.
what on average, Amjad, because you've been training all year. Uh,
Sure,
you know,
depends. Like
on average, yeah. Give me like
yeah,
the
the release of the game, I was practicing 8 hours a day because it's a new game. I have to know every situation, this. But when I started acknowledging everything in the game, the hours became less and less. They until now they became 4 hours a day.
5 to 4 hours a day.
Yes,
At this point, that's what you're training.
yes,
In the beginning, though, what led to you winning Evo and the Gamers 8 performance? You were
8 hours a day
at
practice, eight
least
hours a day, at least 8 hours a day.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And if I lose to someone, all I do in the day is trying to figure out why I lost, how to improve. For example, I lost to someone, and then I turned off the PC, went to the gym. In the gym, I'm lifting weights, thinking about what happened. In the gym, lifting the weights. Okay, he did this, he did that. Maybe I can stop this by this. Maybe doesn't have to be in the game. You're in your car driving, whatever. Maybe I can stop this with that. Maybe I can do this with that. So you start making solutions outside of the game, assuming that it's a solution. And when you come home, you apply everything that you thought of, and at the end, you will come with a solution that you thought of. You think of multiple solutions, one of them is going to work of what you thought of during your day.
What would you say you put the most amount of time into? Was it actually playing? Because you were a new challenger, you didn't even hit ranked match. Was it
Yes,
playing casuals with friends for learning the matchups, like very strong players? Was it lab work? Was it
playing
replay?
casuals with very strong players plus lapping. As soon as I see something that I have no solution for, lap immediately. For example, I'll give you a situation.
Yeah.
I played Akira in Japan.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Yeah, this guy, when we played, he destroyed me 23. I couldn't sleep that day. Literally.
Oh god.
Ask Big Bird about this. I couldn't sleep. And I was like, all I was thinking all night long, in every situation, neutral. How did he get in? Why did he get in? How how does he think in the corner? Like what led to this? What did he do? Because he's so reactionary. Because if I want to beat him, I have to do less risky stuff in order to make him not react to anything. If you don't do risky stuff, then he doesn't have anything to react to. So you have to play you have to play in a way which doesn't let him react to your things. So and I was thinking about is what how does he get in? The first thing I was thinking about is how does he get in on me? Like how does he start his thing? So I realized he either dive kick or regular jump, and I'm not anti-airing regular jumps. So the first thing I do as soon as I wake up in the morning, I practice anti-airing like regular jumping and blocking dive kicks where it is minus. That's one. Two, sometimes he does EX dive kick. EX dive kick is minus, right?
Yes.
But he delays throw. He delays the throw, so you don't throw him. So and like he does this the dive kick, but you don't get anything out of it. So I wanted to bait the EX dive kick too. So I realized Ken when he does EX dive kick, you are +2 in his face, right?
Yes.
even though you're +2, backdash to make him whip a throw, punish that whip throw.
Ooh,
So
I
the
haven't
next
even
time
thought.
we played,
That's so
yeah,
sick.
yeah, I was thinking about that while I was on my bed,
Yeah.
not in the game. The next day I wake up, I try everything. The same day we play, I completely destroy him. Completely.
And see, when you were having nightmares about this because he beat you 20-3,
Yes.
at this time period, bro, you, myself, and Phenom, we have a Ken group chat. We're regularly in
Yes.
communication with each other. At this time period, I remember asking you about your personal thoughts about Cammy versus Ken because to me, it felt like a horrible matchup. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's something Tokido had said as well. But you
Yes.
had told me at that time that you thought it was 5-5. So I'm sure
Yes.
losing in what in your mind says is a 5-5 matchup really bothers you
Yes.
and makes you think, man, this guy has a read on me. So what's going on here?
Yes. So for me, Chris, I don't like saying, okay, Ken loses to this, Ken loses to that, unless I do 100%. Like, for example, I do 100% lab everything, try to punish everything optimally, -6, level 2, everything, try to punish, play perfect 100%.
Yes, yes.
And after I play 100%, if I see it hard, then it's a bad matchup. That's how I think. If I do everything 100% and I'm still not confident, then it's a bad matchup. Then okay, it's a bad matchup. It's a character thing.
Hmm.
But if you still there's something that you're not doing with the character perfectly, then you can't judge a matchup until you master that thing, and then you can come to the point. Okay, this character doesn't work. Some characters are. But then when you do everything perfectly, you will know which scenarios your character is weak at in this particular matchup.
Yeah,
And
you,
then when you go to another character, you would know what to counter because you know what your character is weak at against this. So you would find a character that can punish certain things and that your character couldn't punish or your character couldn't handle.
yeah, and you felt like those situations that you were struggling in against Kami, or let's say against Akira, you were able to find the answers to it in order to have those little nuances where you can play the
I
matchup
think it's a bad
perfectly.
matchup. I think it's a bad matchup, slightly for Kami. Now
So
I changed my mind.
wait, you
Slightly
think
for Kami.
Ken wins?
No, slightly for Kami.
Oh,
Kami
slightly
wins.
for Kami.
Slightly.
So like
Yes.
5.5.
Yes. Because of her defensive options. Because if I knock her down, if she knocks me down, the only thing she has to worry about, wake up level 1, EXDB, or jump.
Okay.
But when I knock her down, when I put her in the corner, I have to worry about EXDB, which is gonna side switch and put me in the corner.
Yes.
Second, I have to worry about jump EX dive kick if I throw, which is
Yes.
gonna put me in the corner too. And I have to bait a backdash, which is possible, which is gonna put me in the corner too. And I have to bait like a normal forward jumping. So you have to bait multiple things to keep her in the corner while she has to bait less things which are less risky and not gonna put her back in the corner. So that's the theory of this matchup,
So
which
so
I'm
the
thinking of.
theory of the matchup then falls on the corner defensive options that Ken has and the
Yes,
corner defense. My problem with this matchup is more so in the neutral. I completely agree with you in the defensive side because having those two
yes.
extra layers of if she does EXDP, I'm in the corner, and if she does EX dive kick, I'm also in the corner, but it beats my throw. That's a lot
In
to think
neutral, I think
about.
it's even. In
You,
neutral, I think it's even because you have a fireball and at very close range, which can annoy her, which can stop her from pressing stand heavy kick, stand media kick, crouch media punch. She's gonna press them eventually, but if you do this thing, which is anti-airing normal jumpings and blocking the minus dive kick, it's gonna change a lot. It's gonna change so big time in the matchup.
while we're on this topic of the Cami matchup, there's one extra layer I want to add on to it. Let's say someone is playing the devil's advocate or tries to respond with what you said with this argument, saying, okay, you're telling me to throw some fireballs against her to annoy her if she's pressing roundhouse and medium kick. Well, all she
Yes,
has to do is buffer the EX the EX spin knuckle, and it's gonna hit
Yes.
you out of that fireball, and now you're in the corner, and Cammy has a lot of momentum. How do you balance the decision making of fireball
You
and
should actually,
yeah.
Chris, like what people don't understand about fireball game is you don't play fireball, you don't throw the fireball in order to take damage. The main purpose of the fireball is to show the opponent that I have a fireball
Yes.
which is going to throw.
Yes.
That's the main reason of it. So you can just throw. Let's say you play an FT5. You can throw three fireballs in this whole FT5 just to show him I'm gonna throw a fireball. Put it in his mind so he doesn't like he changes neutral buttons because of the fireball. But if he notices that you don't throw any fireball at all, he's gonna keep pressing buttons every time. So you throw one or two fireballs and see his pattern in pressing buttons. I can tell from his movement, like he is still afraid of the fireball that I've thrown before. But if he's not afraid, he will be pressing buttons continuously without being
Yes.
afraid. That means I have to throw another one to show him, look, again, I have one. Be careful. And then start going back to bait the fireball, and then the neutral becomes even. You don't have to throw it multiple times. Only one time is enough.
If it's necessary for you to only throw one time in order to get the read on his response to the fireball, that's what you're
Yes,
saying. Yeah, yeah. Of course. I mean,
yes,
this is any Shoto player that's been playing Shotos for a long time. This is
yes.
ingrained in our heads, especially when I was growing up. This is the same thing that Mike Watson and Valle was trying to teach me as well with throwing fireballs, and John Choi too. That there's a crazy story I have with John Choi that I'll get into on another episode. But let's move on from the Cammy conversation, which that was really insightful. I want to talk about specifically your aggression. When I play you, Amjad, this is what comes to my mind. You have amazing neutral. No one can take that away from you. But your decision making on when to go into offense from neutral is immaculate. And you're known for being very aggressive. You talk about your aggression. You like how aggressive the game is. I want to know what is the science behind your aggressive tendencies, because there's a difference between autopilot and blind commitment and meticulous commitment. When I play against you, it's very meticulous commitment to your offense. You know exactly what you're doing because you've thought about this scenario or practiced it a million times. And remember how I was mentioning to you your training lab, this replay analysis, playing casuals. Like, how is that incorporated? What is it that you're doing in the lab to find the openings against your opponent, to find the gaps? How do you decide when to go in from neutral? It's so good.
So as I told you, Chris, like in that regard, you have to see opponent's pattern and neutral. Sometimes the patterns of the opponent seems like okay, he's not afraid of dry brush. He's not afraid of dry brush, so I have to walk him down to the corner. He will check dry brush. Sometimes from the way he walks, you can tell he's trying to check. So this is something I'm very good at. I can have a read in the opponent on what he's trying to get out of me. Is he trying to get a fireball? Is he trying to get a? From the way he moves, I can tell. Okay, he's trying to bait a fireball. He's trying to bait a jump in. He's trying to bait a drive rush. So whatever thing in my mind he's trying to bait, I do the complete opposite. Which from his movement, from the like buttons he press, from the patterns, I can tell the way he's going back, the way like I can tell the way he's moving, pressing normals, everything. He's ready for a drive rush. He's not ready for a jump in. It's time to jump. It's time to do this because it's very hard for him. Like this is why I think Luke is one of the hardest matchups for Ken, is because he can bait everything without any risk.
Yes.
For example, he can anti-air with crouch heavy punch, check drive rush with crouch medium punch, and easily stop you from walking him down to the corner by pressing crouch medium punch.
And stand medium
So
kick too.
and stand media kick, but crouch medium punch is the issue because
Yes, yes.
you can't walk him down to the corner. So what I realized in this matchup is you have to be the one letting him chase you. You can't be the one chasing him. In this matchup, if you chase Luke, it's impossible. 100% he wins. You
Hmm.
can't. I realized after training everything, like calculating everything, you can't chase this character because he covers every option. Neutral, he covers. Checking, he's superior in checking drive rush. He's superior in anti-airing. He's superior in terms of damage. So how do I win this matchup? You have to win this matchup by letting him come in. Doesn't matter. 99 seconds, he doesn't come in, you don't go. If you go, you lost. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 99 if you want to win 99 seconds, you don't go. You have to wait for him to come. That's the 100%.
A more
If
passive
99
approach.
seconds, yeah, 99 seconds, he doesn't come, you don't go. This is how you play this matchup. The moment you go, you're putting yourself at risk of getting big damage. While versus other characters, they have, like, for example, Kami. Kami can check drive rush with crouch media punch, can go through fireball, can anti-air, but you can bait her anti-air with jumpy Tatsu. So that's an option that you have to take damage out of her and then put her in the corner and start your offense. So you calculate everything. Okay, how can she do this? How can she do that? How can she do this? And then once you realize her options, you start trying to figure out a way to take damage on offense. This is why Luke, you can't take damage off of Luke because crouch heavy
Mm.
punch beats EX Tatsu in the air.
Yes, yes.
Fireball is still good versus Luke, but if he jumps one, then you are the one who has to go in,
Yeah.
which is a very bad situation. So
Mm.
even Fireball, you have to be very careful while throwing it. Very careful. So
So,
this is why it's a bad matchup. Yeah.
yeah, so what you're saying here to the original question of your mentality on how you become so aggressive and how you find your moments to strike. I This is from you training every situation, finding the
Yes.
perfect opportunity. If he didn't press a button while I'm in this range, then I'm going to respond with a standing fierce or respond with a drive rush. You're mixing every single offensive option you could do based off of what you're witnessing your opponent doing to you, finding the gap to respond offensively. Yes?
Yes. So for example,
Yes.
for example,
Yeah.
you press stand heavy kick at a certain range, and then the next time, if the opponent is very smart, for example, I was playing Shohai. He knows I'm pressing stand heavy kick. Eventually, I'll drive rush at his face to back throw him. So he's just blocking the heavy kick. He's not trying to challenge against it. And he's crouching. So in my mind, the way he's moving, he's trying to wait for a drive rush to to punish the drive rush with DB, something very fast. So he lock me in the corner and punish it immediately. So sometimes I'm 100% sure he's gonna do this from reactionary press. So I do drive rush, drive impact. I I beat their DB and punish every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I have a read on this. So it's just a read. Offense, you have a read on how the opponent moves.
Yeah.
So the more you play, the more experience you have in the game, the better reads you're gonna get and the better understanding of how to control the opponent.
The
That's
reason
how aggression becomes easier.
the reason why I'm asking this, bro, is because when I look at my play and I compare it to your play, and even when I play against you, it the neutral is extremely hard, and of course, but it always seems like his offense is so much more threatening than my offense. His offense is so much, it's filled with more fear in the opponent than when I play somebody. Like if you play somebody and I play that same person right after you, he's going to be more scared of your offense than for me. I
Yes.
don't know how to execute that offense as well as I need to. I feel like my problem is that I still play a bit too passive, and maybe it's because of my lack of understanding with the game being as high as yours. But
Yes.
I need to work on my aggression. That's for damn sure. And I want to
First of
highlight.
all,
Yeah,
you
go
need
ahead.
to work on optimization.
Mm.
You need to be optimal in every situation. You get a job, be optimized out of that job. Because if opponents see that you're optimal,
Mm.
he's gonna be scared to do things. He's gonna be scared to jump forward. He's gonna be because he knows. So people are scared to play me sometimes because they know I'm gonna convert. Doesn't matter what the
Yes.
story, I'm gonna convert. So they sometimes they are forced to take the throw because in their mind, if this guy catch me, it might be over. I'll do the most optimal thing I can.
Yes, you do.
So they try your best to like in their mind. I will try my best to not get catched by his optimization. By that, I force them to take the throw with my optimization of situational awareness,
Mm.
optimal combos, optimal punishment, optimal reaction, optimal like sites like corner carry, optimal everything. So they don't want me to catch them, so they don't put into the cycle of guessing because they know I'm gonna convert everything. So
Mm.
this is how I like condition my opponent, show him how optimal I am. So he's scared. He's scared to do so. Like if I shimmy, fierce, not jab. If I have to put the fear in his head because, for example, I shimmied someone with jab, DB. He's gonna look at his health. Nothing happened. I can throw again. But if I punished him big time, heavy punch, media kick, DB, he's gonna be like, this guy is gonna convert everything. I
Yeah.
shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't be like taking these stupid risks.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna keep throwing him because okay, I already put in his mind how optimal I am.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be every time he's going to take throw, he's gonna remember the damage I've taken away from him. So he's gonna change his option. So it all comes down to how optimal you are. It all comes down.
I
Yeah.
I like how I feel like
Not just
that's
in terms of situational awareness, in
yeah.
terms of reaction, in terms of getting in terms of corner carry, in terms of side switch. Sometimes, even when I'm in the corner, opponents don't want to make mistakes versus me because somehow they'll find themselves in the corner.
Yes.
Somehow I'll find a way to put them back in it. So they don't want to make a mistake to not be put back in that situation. You know,
And this goes back to being aware of every situation, studying every little interaction,
of
because the
course.
example that you gave with the shimmy is just one, and then you follow it up with saying this is also for corner carry, for optimal punishes, for whiff punishes, for interactions that are happening. If everything is optimal that hurts your opponent, they're going to be so much more scared of getting touched by you.
Yes.
So that's inherently making your offense stronger.
For example, another example I
Yes,
want to give
please.
you.
I no, I love these examples. This is really good for the audience
Yeah,
as well.
someone is throw lobing me. Okay, in his mind, the most I can be punished is the wake up DB. So I punish him with backdash, crouch jab, punish counter, crouch heavy punch, heavy Jinrai, EX Jinrai, he's in the corner. Next time he's gonna throw me, he's gonna think twice. He's not. It's not gonna be the same throw.
Yeah,
But in fact, you do like wake up EXDB, he's gonna eat it 10 times. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many times. He's gonna keep eating it.
yeah.
But the moment you do that back dash and land that big damage with a side switch, he's gonna think twice. He's gonna be like, I. He's gonna change his offense patterns. He's gonna start with a jab and then throw. It's not gonna be just a throw. It's gonna be jab, walk, throw, jab, walk, throw. Or he wants to try and bait that backdash. So one example, I was playing Mena in Capcom Cup. This shows how smart Mena is. So I don't. Nobody. I'm sure no one in the world noticed this. Even Mena maybe doesn't know if I noticed it or not. In Capcom Cup, there's one backdash I did at him in the corner, and I landed big damage on him because I know he likes to throw me a lot. He likes to condition me. You know.
Yeah.
So in that situation, the next interaction, he put me in the corner. He did throw, and then he walked. You know what he did?
Mm.
Crouch heavy punch dry brush because he expected a backdash. He wanted to punish me big time for that backdash.
Yeah.
So I don't do it again, and he reconditioned me with the throws. He's like, okay, don't do this backdash. I'm gonna kill you. Let me just throw you to death.
When
That's
you
what that was the. That, if you ask Mena and you show him this clip, he's gonna say the same. That was his thought process. I want to punish his backdash, kill him with this. So when I put him in the corner again, he rethink twice. I killed you with this backdash. I I heavy punched you. I'm gonna punish you big time. Don't do it again. So he reconditioned me. Throw, 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 throw.
When you,
That if you ask him, that's he's gonna tell you. That's
I'm for sure.
exactly what he
I'm
did.
gonna clip this, send it directly to him, and see exactly what he says, and I'll tweet
Yes.
about it. But okay, I'm really glad that you brought this example of the throw loops. At what point do you decide to act upon the read that you have? For example, someone is throw looping you. You take the file, you put it inside of your head, you have the download there. When do you pull that file back out and respond? Because we're in a 2 out of 3. So I want to know how you respond to patterns that you're recognizing. Is it on one knockdown, somebody throws you, so the very next knockdown you respond? Or is it
Yes.
when it's critical? Go through that thought process.
So depending on how confident your opponent is. So this is why Mena is a very difficult opponent, not just to me, to anyone, because he's confident in his decisions.
Yes.
Mena is a type of player. He will do what he what he will do what he has to in order to win. If he has to throw you 15 times in a row to win, he will throw you 15 times in a row to win. He doesn't care. If that's the way he's going to win, he's gonna do it. He
Mm,
doesn't think twice.
mm.
If he notices that you're taking a throw, he will do it until you show him, I'm gonna do this. So players like Mena, players like NL, players like who has very strong offense, you have to show them. It's not an option. You have to wake up. You have to show them. If you don't show them and punish them big time for what they're trying to do, they will keep doing it. For example, if I didn't backdash on Mena, he was gonna keep throwing me. He wasn't gonna do that crouch
Yes.
heavy punch I
Yes.
told you about.
Yes.
So I had to show him, Mena, listen, I'm gonna do this. So be careful next time. So
Mm.
he did that crouch heavy punch. If I didn't show him that, that crouch heavy punch would never came in. He would have never done it
You're right.
if I didn't backdash. He was still going to throw low me. So the way, even the offensive, even when someone is doing offense on you, is not only he's doing conditioning to you, you're doing conditioning to him, but what you're gonna wake up with.
Mm.
It's a two-way conditioning thing.
Habibi, I can talk so much about the game with you, and we would spend 10 hours. It would go by very quickly. But this was really insightful because you gave the audience a lot of examples. And I want them to be able to picture those examples as you're talking about it. And oh, dude, this was so good. But I wanna shift the conversation now a little bit away from the
Sure,
mechanical Street Fighter side and more towards the deeper conversations of life. And we've had plenty
sure,
of those during our friendship. The first thing that I want to get into is spiritual warfare. And this is a bit of a touchy subject to get into, but you're a man of God, so you're capable of having these conversations. If you've been in the scene as long as I have, you would know that Big Bird's name had more notoriety than Angry Bird's. Until like the last year of Street Fighter V, where I feel like Angry Bird's name rose above his in terms of notoriety, and it was followed by Angry Bird winning Evo for Street Fighter 6, which is obviously monumental. Amjad, I mention this because you're a spiritual man, and I know in my journey I've dealt with jealousy and spiritual warfare. Comments like the better bird can easily spawn thoughts of envy and jealousy in both of you, in Adil and of yourself, but in different time periods. It's a story as old as Cain and Abel. We've all seen movies where brothers turn against each other. One becomes more jealous than the other. We've seen it in history with princes fighting to be king. This is a tactic of the devil for thousands of years. You and Adel are brothers. Have you experienced thoughts like this in the past? And if so,
at the beginning of our friendship, yes.
mm,
But now, so for me now, for
sorry,
example,
let me finish it
yeah,
off
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. Sorry, I know it's a long question,
sure,
but I'm
sure.
providing
Continue, Habib.
context. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, and
Sorry,
if so,
continue.
no, it's okay, bro. And if you've had thoughts like this, what have you done to combat those thoughts and walk a path that strays away from the devil's lies and temptations of ego, and the path that is forged in genuine love and support for Adil's success?
So first of all, Habibi, our like me and Adel are very close with each other. So before, so many issues used to happen because both of us were keeping things in our heart without telling each other. So the more we knew each other, we asked, oh, this is big issue. We are keeping things in our hearts, and then at the day of the issue, we bring everything
Yeah.
at the table. So we decided at every moment, if he does something that I don't like, I tell him, and if I do something that he don't like, he tells me at the moment immediately. So when that started to happen, things became very, very, very good. Like everything. For example, the topic of jealousy. First of all, Chris, you have to be truthful to yourself to be able to get away jealousness from your way.
Ooh.
You have to be truthful. For example, Mena won committee. Mena, for example, like did all the success, won Street Fighter League, everything, everything, everything. So my ego is telling me, you won Evo by beating Mena. You should be the one in this position being better than him. This is the ego inside of you telling you that.
Yes. Yes.
But the other side of you is telling you, this man is insanely good. I need to learn from him. I
Yeah.
need to learn from what he's doing. This is the other good side in you. How to make the good side beat the ego inside you is by being a humble man.
Yes.
You have to be truthful to yourself. Man, you have to say it. I mean, it doesn't take any way out of, doesn't make you less of a man to say another guy is better than you. Mena is better than me, and I'm happy because of it. And I'm gonna learn from him all day. I'm happy to learn from Mena all day to become stronger. This is how I remove ego from my life. Okay, be truthful. Mena is better, 100%. Mena is better. I learn from him. I'll become stronger. So with Adil too, when Adil was better, and I still think he's better than me. Everyone ask me who's better. I tell them Adil. Everyone, even if somebody might think I am better than Adil, my response immediately is Adil better than me, because I don't want to create such thing between me and between me and my friend, which we both don't care about who is better than the other. But to show that I don't care about it, I will always say he's better than me, even if I win Evo, Capcom Cup, everything. I will still think he's better than me. I will still think that because he's the one who introduced me to Street Fighter. He's the one who always teaches me the mechanics, telling me this and that. People don't know that, and always when I do a mistake, he's the first one to come and try to help me fix it. So I'll always think he's better than me, not because I got success in a certain tournament, I suddenly become better than him. Maybe I'm better than him at a certain point, which, okay, controlling my emotions at a certain tournament or whatever, but he's going to be better at controlling his emotions at another tournament. So this is
Yeah.
something that varies from a tournament to a tournament.
Yeah.
But as a player as a whole, I will always think he's better than me. And if someone is doing success, winning tournaments over and over again, I'll always think that person is better than me, and I learn from that person and see what he's doing to get to his level. But if you stay there and be like, why is it this guy and not me?
Mm.
It's you're gonna fuck up big time.
Yeah.
If you say, why is it him and not me? It's over. I think it's over for you because you put your ego in the way, and you'll be like, okay, no way he should be better than me. So by thinking that, I think it's not. You might get some successes, but it's gonna ruin your heart.
Yeah.
Anything that ruins your heart in the long run, it's not gonna be good for you. So this is how I approach this personally. That
You
was
know,
a long
Habibi,
answer.
no, it was a beautiful answer, Habibi, because I've also talked about my journey with ego and jealousy, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't feel that towards you when you started having success in Street Fighter Five. Just to give a little bit of the context to the audience, for the longest time, I felt like I was the best Ken player in the world because I was the only one playing the character. I was performing the best out of all the Ken players for a long time. And then there was the era where I kind of stopped playing. And then you started playing Ken. And in the beginning, I was like, man, AngryBird is just kind of going crazy with Ken. Oh, AngryBird is just doing this and that. And it it was the ego side of me talking rather than witnessing what you were doing and how optimal you were being in every situation. It was like my ego was trying to put a like a blindness over my eyes just to feed me more lies and to create a sickness in my heart. and
That's true.
and it's it's not a good feeling, man, especially
It's
as
not.
as
It's
a
not.
man of God, and I want to get closer to God, and I want to become a holier person overall, and not have those types of sickening thoughts because they do make you sick.
They in the
Ego,
long run they will make your heart bad.
ego
100%.
is so attached with Street Fighter, especially because the fame that we have and the popularity. It's so easy for us to fall under ego, and it wasn't until uh, I'm not sure what tournament it was that I played you, but there was a point where I tried to fix this ego in me, and rather than seeing you as a competitor, I started seeing you as somebody that I could learn from. And Habibi, if it wasn't for the conversations that you had with me at Street Fighter League, I would have been so mentally fucked. A lot of people don't know, but in the first few days, I was struggling heavy with my mind, and you pulled me aside and you just
I remember,
calmed
Habibi.
me down. You told me about it. Hey, you had an important conversation with me that changed the way I was thinking about not only the way that I was playing, just the performance overall. So I'm really happy that you were honest and admitting to the audience that you felt those thoughts towards Adel in the beginning, but you have made the necessary adjustments in your journey with life in order to to not deal with that. But
It's just
I
a
wanted to
like
share that
simple
with you
answer.
too. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to share that with you too, bro, because that hit my ego, and it was so much better when I dropped the ego and I treated you like a brother and treated you like somebody I could learn from. And you've been one of the biggest helps for me. And
Thank you,
not
Habibi. Thank you so much.
it's very important for me to share that with you, bro, because you're an integral part into my understanding of my own character that I felt like, oh, I've been playing the character for many, many years. I know more than anybody. You know, it's very easy to fall under that. And I hope the audience learns from the honesty and the vulnerability
Of course,
that we're
Habibi.
both sharing
When you
here
get
because
when you let ego come in, it's gonna be it's gonna be a hard process to improve because you're not improving for yourself anymore. You're improving to show.
yes,
So, for example, about like it's good. It's a good thing that I said show because the moment I bowed down on my knees after winning Evo, as I want to show. Don't praise me. Don't praise me.
yeah,
Praise the one who brought this to me.
yeah,
It's better.
yes,
This is what I did. Even Mena, he does the same.
yes,
Like, and another thing, he says, don't praise me. Praise the one who got this to me.
yeah,
By that, you are already removing ego out of your life by doing this because you're showing that it's not you who did this, it is God.
yeah,
So by showing this, you already released the ego out of you. So all you have to do next is just do your best because you don't have no. If you noticed, I don't talk much on Twitter. I don't get into
no, no,
conversations. I don't do that because I know some toxicity might happen. I know some of this might like all of the people who know me in the FGC know I don't like to trash talk even. That's because when I go to a tournament, it's not just I'm representing my gameplay, I'm representing my religion too.
yes,
So if I start trash talking people and look at me and look at my religion and be like, okay, his religion is teaching him this, his dad is teaching him this,
yeah,
his family is teaching him this. But when you show your morals, when you show how good you are as a person, when you lose, when you win, all of these stuff are important. Then you show what you're representing. You're representing this. So this is that. So you have to be careful because you're not only showing yourself, you're showing what you come from. You're showing everything. You're
yeah,
representing everything.
yes,
So you have to act upon that.
your family, your
Yes,
upbringing, your the people that you associate with, and most
of
importantly,
course.
the God that you serve. So it's I love that when you give praise to God when you win Evo, when Mena gives praise to God, Capcom Cup. This is something that I always wanted to be able to do whenever I won something big. So putting God first is important because we're fighting a war here with the devil, man. We're fighting a war where God is being taken out of everybody. And
Man,
so I
if you
think it's
want me to be honest with you, Chris, really, like I want to be honest in
yeah,
this.
Habibi,
I don't
go.
want to say things because it came down to the point where I go to the tournaments to I'm completely honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm
of
doing to
course.
the tournament not to win. Like if you want me to be honest,
Yeah.
even if when we lost Street Fighter League to you guys, did I seem sad?
No, 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 Habibi, no,
Not at all.
no.
Because I didn't go to win. I just went to do my best. If it comes out as a win, it's a win. If I didn't, then okay, God didn't choose it. Why should I be sad?
Yeah,
Like there's something He knows better than I am. That's why I didn't win. So I shouldn't be thinking of why I lost. I should be thinking of how to improve to get a better result, not on how I lost. How I lost, the moment I lost, it became from the past. There is no need to think about
yeah,
it.
yeah. I love it,
For
man.
example,
Yeah,
I want to bring something outside of the game
do it.
so people understand more. You go approach a girl that you like, for example,
Yeah.
and that girl reject you. You don't be thinking about that all day. The moment she rejects you, it's from the past. Next step. That's the thing, man. Yeah, that's what we have to do, really.
Yeah, it really is. No, you learn.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a
It's
great
not just
example.
in games, in everything in life.
Every aspect of
For
life.
example, you lost, like you failed an exam. It's in the past. Next one. That's how you improve. You look into the
Yes.
future. You don't look into the past.
Yes. If anything, just continuing to focus on the future will will help you not regret the past because those losses in the past helped shape your mindset into the future win that you get. The victory in the future tastes so
So
much better.
are people are focused on so much on why a certain guy is winning
Mm,
instead of thinking of how a certain guy is winning. It's two different things.
yes.
Why a certain guy is winning is so different than how he is winning.
Mm,
If you want to know why he's winning, you have to know how he's winning in order to know why. So it's how that comes first. You have to know how he's winning for you to know why he is winning. You see what I mean?
of course. Of course. Okay. So speaking about how somebody wins, there's a lot of changes that are going to be made in season two. That hopefully we're expecting some more changes. Um, I want to talk about the current state of Street Fighter Six. You have an amazing understanding of Street Fighter Six. First of all, man, let me just say that was a beautiful conversation about the spiritual warfare. Thank you for joining me in that
Of course, Habib.
conversation
Of
because that
course, Habib.
not a lot of
Of
people can
course, all
have that
day.
that layer of conversation. So I'm very happy to
I'll
have
join
had that
all
with you.
day on that.
Yeah, we can talk for hours about this, as all
All
topics
day,
that we.
yeah.
Okay, so back to the question: the current state of Street Fighter Six. You have an amazing understanding of Street Fighter Six. What are your current likes and dislikes with the game? What do you want changed, and what are some buffs, nerfs that you think can needs? Let's get into the nitty gritty of this upcoming season two patch.
Sure. So the game is so good. I really like the game, to be honest. The game is very good. But there are so many things in the game that can be fixed and the game can become way more like way better than it is, you know? First of all, you need to nerf perfect parry. You need to nerf it. I don't know how, you need to nerf it. When somebody does parry, if you throw them, it has to take two drive gauge out of the opponent, or you have to like to increase the window on you punishing the opponent when he releases the parry.
Yeah,
There has to be a punishment on that regard, otherwise, because the reward is so big. The reward is so big. If you parry the normal, even if it's not perfect, you get back drive gauge, you get back this, you get back that, and if it's perfect, the whole round is flipped. If you guys remember in Street Fighter League, Mena won the tournament versus me because he got a perfect parry. Remember?
yes,
Remember that perfect parry he got?
yes,
He won the tournament because he got that perfect parry. And he got it at the right time. So perfect parry is so rewarding in this game. It can win you the tournament. 100% can win
yeah,
you the tournament.
yeah.
So it's so rewarding, but it's not punishable. So a smart player will make the smartest use of it, similarly as Mena did in that grand final. He made the best use of it,
Yeah.
and it's not that punishable. All he will get is just a throw.
So you think that right now the main thing that you would want to get nerfed from the overall game mechanic would be perfect parry, or just parry in
Yes,
general, work around it. But what about
parry.
the thing that a lot of people don't like, which is
Yeah,
neutral
let me
drive
continue.
rush? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, neutral drive rush should not eat your inputs. That's one. Two, neutral drive rush should be punished with punish counter. Neutral drive rush should not like you. It has to be. I think it has to be 1.5 gauge instead of 1 gauge because the reward it can get is so big. It can win you the round too. If you get one drive rush, it can win you the round. So by making it one 1.5 gauge, you increase the neutral gameplay. Then the neutral in the game becomes more like button wise instead of rush, normal cancel into rush. It becomes more buttony. I have to take damage out of the opponent by hitting his button and everything. But if you keep on it like raw drive rush at 1 gauge, even if the opponent is reacting, if that one time he doesn't react, it could be over.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like dislike about the game, which I hope to be changed. And the last thing I would love is the drive reversal. I want drive reversal to be buffed. I want it to become keep it punishable, everything, but make it faster. I want it faster so I can react to my opponent cancel drive rush, and I drive reversal them on
Yes,
reaction.
yes, yes, I agree. Like if you see somebody
So,
do
yeah.
crouch medium kick, drive rush, you do the drive reversal. You should be able to react to that and respond with
Yes.
that.
By
Yes.
that you increase more layers, which are unsafe and can be punishable too. So if you realize someone is reacting to your drive like to a media kick drive rush with drive reversal, you put more layers. You make him extend the drive rush so he can punish. So you make him extend the drive rush so he can punish your drive reversal with super level 1 or level 2 or 3, whatever.
Hmm.
That's one. Two, you increase more jab drive rush because you can't drive reversal that. So
Yeah.
people will start jab drive rush more. So you put more layers into the game, which is better for the viewership too.
Yes.
You see more layers of offense instead of just seeing crouch video kick driver, crouch video kick driver.
Yes.
So by buffing drive reversal, you're giving a better view for the viewer too,
Yeah, I
if you
agree.
know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. Okay, what about buffs and nerfs to Ken? Because I just
Buffs
mentioned
and
this
nerfs
to
to Ken.
you the other day. I really don't like Ken's Jumpy X Tatsu. It's way worse than I thought. To when you use it to try to bait an uppercut from Ryu or Luke
Yes.
or these characters where you used to be able to do jump Tatsu to bait it.
Okay, so they wanted Ken to not bait uppercuts anymore. Similarly to Luke, he can't bait uppercuts anymore with like jump flash knuckle. So Ken and Luke got that treatment punish, you know? They can't punish with uppercuts anymore. So by doing that, that means the reason we are doing this in the first place, because sometimes we struggle in the neutral,
Yes.
so we have to tend on jumping and making the uppercut with. So you take this away, but buff other normals. So we don't have to do this. For example, buff stand media kick. It has to hit crouchers too. Why
Yes.
does it hit standing only?
Yes.
By buffing that, you can confirm it. So you don't need to jump to get an opening. You can get an opening by confirming stand media kick, for example, if the opponent is waking.
Yeah.
So buff neutral and take away this. It's okay. But for example, Luke doesn't need it in the first place. His neutral is so overwhelming, so good. He doesn't need this.
Yeah.
But Ken needs it because his neutral is lacking. You know, Luke can get in anytime. He has heavy punch, drive rush. He can do it from way longer range.
Yeah.
It's the same thing if Ken had stand heavy kick drive rush. Same thing, Habibi.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine Ken having stand heavy kick drive rush.
Well, the world would be in flames as
Yeah,
everybody already
yeah,
hates
man.
Ken.
So, but Luke has it with stand
Yeah.
heavy punch.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so other than I like how your thought process is with that because it makes sense. If you're gonna hurt my ability uh, to bait out a DP, well, you got to understand that I'm doing this because I'm struggling in the neutral. So you have to buff Ken's neutral a little bit more. Okay,
Yes.
what other than the stand medium kick, is there anything else that you think Ken needs as a buff that is integral to making the character like the best character in the game? How would you think? What
Oh,
kind
if you
of
want to
bust do
make
you
him the
think?
best character in
Yeah,
the game,
I want Ken to be the best character. I want him to be third strike type of Ken, where he's
sure.
top two,
Stand
no
media kick,
argument.
stand media kick, buff. Damage, same as Luke. Same damage. Same damage as Luke.
Yeah,
Dragon Lash +2 instead of +1.
yeah,
If Dragon Lash is +2, there's no mix up. The throw is real.
yes,
100%. So there is no. If he pressed and I threw, he will hit me. It's a
Yes.
guaranteed mix. You're on the
Yes.
mix for sure.
Yes.
You know. So and like yeah, we said damage. We said stand media kick, and we said
Dragon Lash +2.
Dragon Lash. And if you want to make him like best in the game, light Gen Rai. Make it similar use as medium Gen Rai.
Yeah, so for it to be
Similar
canceled from
use.
lights, when we cancel
Yes,
light Jinrai from lights, yes. Oh, that would be
yes,
really
and
good.
yes. That way, Ken will be the best in the game.
And the Jump EX Tatsu. Make it Street Fighter 4 Jump EX Tatsu.
That one, I don't think he needs it in this game
He doesn't
because
need
if
it,
you
but
buff these things, yeah, if you buff these things, he's gonna be crazy.
he
He's gonna
is.
be Dragon Lash becomes +2. Your only hope is you perfect parry. If you don't perfect
Yes.
parry, you're in the mix. It's just like I drive rushed at you point blank, but without spending gauge.
I'm just being greedy here. I definitely want
Yeah, we
Ken's
both being
Jump
greedy here,
Street
but
Fighter
Ken,
4 EX Tatsu back would be
we
amazing.
want to balance him. So how do we
Yes.
balance him? We
Yes.
give him the stamina kick, but we take it like we nerf medium Gen Rai. We nerf it a little bit, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. And
because
obviously the Jump
Ken,
EX Tatsu.
yeah, Ken and Burnout is so strong. His Gen Rai pressure is too good, so good. Ken Gen Rai pressure top 3 in the game
Yeah.
in Burnout.
In
So
Burnout.
nerf that a little bit. I don't know how they should nerf it, but they nerf it a little bit, and that would make Ken still viable. No more nerfs and buffs. That would make Ken still viable. I
Yeah.
don't think he should get any more. Okay, if you want to add another nerf, Dragon Lash, little bit pushback, but make it +2.
Yeah.
+2, but not point blank. You know,
Where you can't get a throw out of it.
you can get a throw, but I'm +2. So if I want to get a throw, I will walk. I don't mind walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The last thing I want to ask you here, bro, is we've had these conversations before. The most recent time we had this conversation was at Capcom Cup, and it's about putting players first. At Capcom Cup, we had a great conversation about players being put first, which is the main reason as to why I even started this podcast in the first place. There's so much toxicity on Twitter, as you mentioned. Players don't really have an opportunity to speak their thoughts. Who listens to us? Who takes our opinions, the ones that have the most success? It was the highlight the needs of the professional player more than the needs of the audience. That was our conversation. What do you think needs to change for more player comfort, such as first to threes or first to fives, getting more time to sleep, things of that nature? What do you think Capcom can do to put the players first? A lot of people online don't understand how difficult it is to play in a first to two in the biggest tournament of your life, and it's a horrible round setting where you have to pay attention to the amount of rounds that you win. I mean, that or matches that you win. It's just so it's bad. It's not healthy for the player. So what are your ideas, Amjad?
Like, it's good that you mentioned the first to two and first to three, but because it's insane to me how the World Championship, which I travel 17 hours in the plane to go and attend, is first to two only. It's a shame, you know. It's a shame, really,
Yes.
because you're just going there to make a couple wrong guesses on offense just to go out of the tournament, and that whole 17-hour flight doesn't make any sense anymore. Imagine. At least if I have to go out of the tournament, I have to guess more because I mean I came with in a 17-hour flight. I deserve to guess more.
Yeah.
I came in a 17-hour flight. I need to guess more. I can't just go out of the top because I guessed wrong twice, man. Doesn't make any sense. So it has the game is Street Fighter is a guessing game. It's a guessing heavy game. You can die in the corner easily. So you have to give players room to adapt. But by making it FT2, like you don't give chances to to players to adapt. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
you don't give that. Yeah, that's one. Two, the format and picking the groups of Capcom Cup, you can't have it like that, man. You just can't have it like that, just random. Some groups were like so easy compared to the others. It's just not fair to the players. Like you are practicing so much to depend on luck at the end. It doesn't make any sense. Why should I depend on luck when when I practice so much? I don't want to depend on luck. I want to depend on my hard work.
Yes.
So by that, you should make it more fair. The group draw. How do we make it fair? Let the players choose. That's a way. Let the players choose their group. So I'm sure if the player choose their group, me and Mena would never be in the same group. Never,
No, of course
never.
not. I mean, that was the storyline that everybody wanted to see. I wanted to
Yeah,
see that
never.
as grand final. Who didn't want to see you versus Mena in grand final? That was the entire storyline of Street Fighter 6 and all the major tournaments. So what is it like? Why do you think people don't understand, like the audience members? They always say, oh, but you got to think about the logistics, or you got to think about the TO this and the TO that. What about the player who spends countless hours
It's not about this, Chris.
sacrificing?
It's not about this. You have to test at least. You can't do it without a test. You have to test FT3. You have to test it. You don't know for a fact how much time it takes until you test it. They haven't tested it yet. It
No,
doesn't take much time, especially in this game. How many timeouts have you seen? Not really, not
none.
much. So you have to test it to see. UFA happened this year, best of five, everything finished on time, everything perfect. A whole tournament FT best of five, FT3, everything ran perfectly, and the tournament finished on time, and everything was perfect. So it actually works. So why doesn't it happen? I don't understand. I really don't understand, because if you ask every top player, even though they are unfavorable to win in a FT3, they will prepare FT3,
100%.
because in their mind, I traveled a long way. I deserve to play longer. That's
Yeah.
what they're thinking.
Yes, yes. And it's not just the travel. You're saying, I mean, you
Yeah,
won Evo, bro. You traveled and you competed and you won major tournaments. Like you deserve the opportunity to
it's
prove
not just
that
about
you
me, Chris.
you
It's
get to
about
be there.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves, not just me.
That's
Because
what I meant. I'm not just saying you.
yeah,
I'm
suppose I
saying
didn't win.
yeah.
If I didn't win, that doesn't mean I don't deserve. Everyone deserves. We have people coming from all over the world in the tournaments. For example, Evo, people come from every country. Capcom Cup, people come from every country, and people come from South Africa, people come from Australia, people come from Bangladesh, people come from every country in the
Hmm.
world
Hmm.
to compete. They deserve to play more. That's
Yes.
what I'm thinking.
Yes.
It's not about it has to be it has to be like the player has to be prioritized, and like I think, because people deserve, like the players deserve, because they travel a long time, they put the work in. They they you have to give the players the they played enough. That's what I think. It's not just because of consistency. FT3 doesn't mean consistency all the time, but you have to make players play so they actually feel they played long enough,
Yes.
and they have more to study. But if you let someone play FT2, lose in FT2, what do they have to how will they improve if they lost to guessing?
No, I
But if you give
completely
them
agree.
FT3, they have more room to improve. So
Yes.
it's not about. I see a lot of arguments. People saying, "I know people want FT3 just for consistency." Yes, that's one part of the story, but it's not just for consistency. We want to play more. How many times I was up 2-0 and I lose 3 games in a row to someone? I don't go and say, "Oh, if I lost to FT3." No, I said
No.
I lost because the opponent adapted to me. I
Yeah.
don't blame it to FT3. I wanted to play longer, and I would love always to play FT3 with the opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, FT3 means playing more, better improving, because you get more footage of the gameplay you played, so you get
Yeah.
to improve.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know your mistakes, you get to watch yourself, better consistency, and better reward overall.
It gives you more time, as you said, to adapt to what is happening. For some reason, that extra game, Amjad, it makes a difference in the top player's mind. It really makes that difference of, okay, I think I see what he's doing. Now I can respond with this. And
Not just that. It's not just that.
go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting
No,
you.
Habibi, go ahead.
You have in your mind you're like, in FT3 I have 1 game to spare to
Oh,
see what he's doing.
yes, 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 yes.
And FT2 you can't say I have 1 game to spare. It's just if you lose that 1 game, if by chance he wins the next game, you're out of the tournament. So you can't say, okay, I'll. You only have an FT2. You have only 1 round to spare, which is unlogical. It's not logical to spare 1 round. to know what the opponent's doing.
Yeah.
You have to spare one game to see the tendencies, to see the patterns, to see how the offense is going, how the defense is going. You can't know the offense and defense from one round. It's very hard.
It's
This
impossible.
is why this is why it's very hard to be consistent in this game. And the few who are doing it are very little, are very few.
I wish this became a reality, because this has been something that I've been talking about for a very long time. And most top players have been talking about this for a very long time, about how we wanted to at least be a first to three, or have more events like Red Bull Kumites where it's first to fives, things of that nature. Make it, at least for me, my bro, I feel more comfortable when I sit down and play in a first to three than when I'm playing in a first to two. You just naturally feel a
Of
little bit more
course,
comfortable because you trust that you're going to be able to make the right reads.
100%, 100%.
Habibi.
But
Yes.
let me tell you this. This is something, a tactic I came for FT2, and I would like to introduce it to the people. To me, I started thinking, before I go to the tournament, God already know the result, if I'm winning or losing. So if I'm winning this tournament or losing, whether it is FT2 or FT3 or FT1, I'm still winning the tournament if God is willing to make me a winner. So in my mind, FT2, FT3 is the same. It has to be like that. If it has to be like that. Yeah, we all want it to be FT3, but if it's not FT3, FT2, you have to, in your mind, think like it's FT3. If in your mind the FT2 thing is annoying you, you're gonna lose. You have to treat FT2 as FT3 and be like, I'm gonna take the same decisions. I don't care if I lose the tournament. I will do what I'm thinking of. If you like double think your decisions, it's it's more likely for you to lose. And when I studied my performance in Capcom Cup, that's the biggest reason I lost because of 100, not one of the biggest reason I lost of, because I let FT2 come in my head, and I let so many outside factors come in my head. So I was like, so many factors came in when I just could have played calmly, didn't care about the circumstances, didn't care about the tournament. Maybe I would have lost too, but the outcome would have been better for sure.
Mm-hmm. So this is a new strategy now after Capcom Cup that you're
Yes.
trying to approach it with, up until hopefully Capcom
Not
listens
just
to
in
us.
Capcom Cup. The thing is, I use this in Evo too. I use this in
Oh,
every
okay,
FT2
okay,
tournament.
okay. I thought
In
you were saying
Capcom
that
Cup,
this
it
is what
was
you started, or you
yes.
started doing this after Capcom Cup. That was my
No.
misunderstanding.
But when I thought about it after Capcom Cup, turns out this is why I didn't perform the way I wanted.
Mm,
You know, this is one of the reasons, because so many factors. So many things came into my mind. This is $1 million tournament. Why do you make it FT2? It should be FT.
yeah, yeah,
I let the complain. I complained more than accepting reality. You should accept reality more than complaining, and that what makes the difference between the best and the under the best. The best accept realities as they are and try to adapt to them. But the under the best, very good, but doesn't accept reality. Will always doesn't accept it. In order to become the best, you have to accept reality. You have to accept it.
yeah.
FT2, FT1, I have to accept. I don't have an option. I have to accept.
It takes a real man to be able to look back and acknowledge the mistake that he made that
Of
cost him
course.
something as big as a Capcom Cup, or at least one of the factors that cost it. Obviously, we still wanted to be
And one
first to
more
three.
thing, Chris, I want
Yes,
this to be highlighted too, so
yes,
people learn from it.
yes.
And because so many people had me as the winner of the cup, so many,
Yeah,
even in the votes of the like the battle hub thingy,
yeah,
I had the most votes of winning Capcom Cup. You know, and I let that come to my head. I started feeling like I'm playing for the people and not playing for myself anymore. And don't and I'm, and that's one of the reasons I lost too. So don't doesn't matter where you are, when doesn't matter. Play for yourself. If you don't feel like playing yourself, don't go to that tournament. When you go, get on that flight, get on that train, whatever. Make sure that you're playing only for you, not to prove anything to anyone else, not to play for people's expectations. People expect this from me. Who
yeah,
cares?
yeah,
At the end, we are all gonna die and leave this world, and then whatever people think about you is not gonna matter anymore. So you have to play for yourself because that's what you represent. You represent yourself.
Amen to
So
that.
that's one of the main things.
Amen to
Yes,
that. Habibi, thank you for being on my show here. I'm really grateful
of
for your
course, Habibi,
time.
of course.
Always great conversations with you, bro. I would love for you to be
Thank you,
back on
Habibi.
the
Thank
show
you.
again in the future.
I
Some
will
talk about
anytime,
some.
Habibi,
I have some
anytime.
great
I'm here to
ideas.
support every time.
Thank you, Habibi. Thank you. You've always supported me from day one, bro, and I'm
Of
very
course,
appreciative
Habibi, of
of
course.
your genuinity and how good of a person you are, bro. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
everything.
Habibi. Thank you.
Okay, my brother. Let's see. Where can people find you? Go ahead. Tell the audience where people can find you on YouTube. I know you guys are making content. Obviously, you stream. Everybody knows who you are. But for those new followers out there,
Sure. Guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter, FGC underscore AngryBird. My Instagram, amjad.shh. I post my gaming journeys there. And some of you may not know, I stream on Twitch and I do YouTube videos as well, coaching YouTube videos, guides, and everything. So, and I do tournament runs on my stream, like commentating in tournaments. So many amazing content. So make sure to follow on FGC underscore birds too, and Twitch and as well as on YouTube. That's all my social platforms for you guys.
to everyone listening on this episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment below. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. God bless you guys, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Until next time on Talking with T.